I mean, we are like approaching the COP26, and it's important to like address this point of meaningful youth engagement. And I saw that also there is the moderator of this session, Paul. I will also give the floor to Paul to at least moderate the session. If you want also to introduce yourself, Paul, I will give you the floor.
Oh, thank you so much, Vito. My name is Paul Chukuma, and I'm really excited to be the moderator for this session. Thank you once again, Vito.
Thank you, Paul. Now we are meeting a few okay, Pauline has sent the presentation, so we can give Pauline the possibility to show the presentation, then we can run to the question. Okay, Paul?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, just one moment.
Okay, just put it up.
Okay, so I received the presentation just a moment that I shared the screen. You can go ahead if you want.
All right, thank you very much. Pauline Owiti from Kenya. I was one of the event coordinators at MockCOP26 last year, phase 1 of the MockCOP. So MockCOP26 is continuing right now, and MockCOP26 is the international youth-led project that's mobilizing around the postponement of COP26. So in place of the original COP, we hosted a worldwide online event to show the world leaders and the global community what an ambitious and realistic COP would look like when young people are given the opportunity to organize COP events or international events. We felt that our leaders failed us at every COP event with just making unrealistic policies or actions, and we felt that what if we had ours? Will they listen to us? Will they provide us with the platform? So we built our own COP, which we called MockCOP26. We had like 330 delegates from 140 countries. So our delegates' age were ranged between 11 to 30, of which 63% of the delegates were female or non-binary. Then we gave priority to people coming from the global south, as they are the people that are always affected much by issues, most of the issues when it comes to climate change. So 72% of the delegates were from the global south, majorly Africa and some parts of Asia. So MockCOP received a lot of media coverage, as you can see. So during the MockCOP, the delegates came up with a declaration or a global statement. So the global statement came out during discussions in the event. So the event was 2 weeks. So during these 2 weeks, there was intensive discussions each and every day that relied on regional caucuses and were directed on different time zones. So we had like 6 themes that the declaration, or rather the global statement, followed. The very first theme was climate education. Second one was climate justice. Then there was climate resilience, livelihood, physical and mental health, nationally determined contribution, and protecting biodiversity. So with these 6 themes, we came up with 18 policies. So the 18 policies were divided in these 6 themes, and I'll just go through the 18 policies to give you a hint of what they are. So during the MockCOP, we agreed that each country shall ensure that all school-age children are provided with comprehensive and up-to-date teaching regarding ecological crisis and given the opportunity to learn about their connection with nature, such as teaching, and such teaching shall be adopted to age and region specific. Like you find that there's some information when it comes to climate change or ecological crisis, you can't just tell kids. They might be scared, or it doesn't concern them, or they won't understand. So you tell them, you talk to them in simple terms that will make them understand, and it have to be region specific. Let's say you cannot tell Africans to protect the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is not in Africa as much as it regulates the weather pattern. Are we the people to protect it as African? No. There are people around the Arctic that can do something meaningful. So the information must be region specific. The second one was countries shall implement laws to ensure free access to impartial climate science and data. The other one was each country shall extend legal protection to the rights of the indigenous people. Indigenous people are very important in decision making, are very important in protecting our environment and our biodiversity. So we felt that it's important to protect their rights and their knowledge. The next one was the UN should formally recognize the human rights to healthy environment, including the rights to safe climate. Parties shall make industrial agriculture, mining, and extractive and other polluting industries responsible in law for upholding sustainable practices, and complying with full and swift restoration and cleanup, and the rights of their workers and neighboring communities. The other was countries shall make the destruction of environment a criminal offense of ecocide with corresponding penalties. Each country shall facilitate meaningful and inclusive youth participation in decision making. I'm glad that's what we are doing right now in all matters relating to climate emergency and ecological crisis at all levels. Countries shall implement and enforce laws to protect the active participation in decision making of those who advocate addressing environmental issues, social justice, and corruption. Another one was each country shall develop and implement a national adaptation plan and provide the funding, training, and resources necessary to enable people and communities to adapt and mitigate the consequences of the climate emergency and ecological crisis. The policies and practices of each country and international agencies shall support sustainable agriculture and regeneration of soil and forests. Each country shall commit to green recovery, plan for recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, shall not entrench or subsidize fossil fuel use, but shall commit to country to a just and equitable transition to sustainability and the development of low carbon jobs and opportunities. Each country shall ensure child's right to play, learn, and engage with the natural world by enacting policies to protect and restore biodiversity, such as establishing protected nature reserves, investing in reforestation and banning mining, logging, and fossil fuel drilling in those protected areas. Each country shall ensure safe, breathable air quality. In addition, they shall implement additional social measures to ensure clean quality air, including the promotion of pedestrian green zone, affordable and sustainable transport, and phasing out internal combustion engine. Each country shall provide the necessary funding for children-friendly mental health service. They shall also recognize particular vulnerability of children to impacts of climate crisis in terms of its impact to their health, well-being, and proactively address those impacts. I feel like in most cases that there's this anxiety or impact in mental issues when it comes to the impacts of climate change that are always not handled well. The other is each country's plan, programs, and laws shall be fully aligned in order to stay below 1.5 degrees. Commitments shall genuinely prioritize the radical reduction in greenhouse gas emission first and not involve offshoring. Each country's NDC shall spell out detailed plan and timetable for a whole of society energy transition away from coal, oil, gas, and fossil fuels, which includes a ban on future development of fossil fuel reserve. On protecting biodiversity, we had to, each country shall commit to ambitious targets and the funding and actions to deliver them. For the protection and restoration, at least 30% of land and marine ecosystem by 2030. This must benefit biodiversity, sequester carbon, and ensure the integrity of indigenous people and local communities' rights. Each country at national and international level shall phase out non-essential single-use plastic, taking into the needs of the people with disability, and introduce a circular system for all materials which promote reuse and repair instead of single use, and continually uses existing waste stream to make new products instead of continuing to rely on oil-based or bio-based virgin materials. So our ask was that not that a country to adopt all these, but a country can adopt one or two that suits them and that they can like relate to. There are so many a single country cannot relate to. So where they feel their resources and their capability reaches, they can pick one and adopt. So we have like 2021 goals. The 2021 goals were the phase 2. So the phase 1 was the drafting of the declaration, the drafting of the global statement. Now in phase 2, we had like several goals that we wanted to achieve. We wanted to ensure that 30 countries agree to implement one or more policy commitments from MockCOP treaty before or immediately after COP26. The other one was securing ambitious outcome at COP26 by influencing delegations and getting a strong youth presence in both the green and the blue zones, including in negotiation teams. So like the youths be part of the negotiation teams in most countries. The third one was ensuring COP26 delivers a strong commitment to climate education. We feel like climate education have not been tackled very much. And when it's tackled at the orders are given at the international level to the local level, it will make much impact. The other one was, we are planning to expand network of individuals and organizations publicly supporting individual policy asks from the MockCOP treaty. So an organization or a person can pick one treaty, one policy from the entire 18 policies and help us in pushing it forward to be adopted by the government or the government to recognize it. Last but not least was to create a network of climate activists actively collaborating on policy implementation centered on the MockCOP treaty. So that's what's going on in MockCOP. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn at MockCOP26. And currently we have a delegation of 5 people, 5 volunteers going to MockCOP to help push forward what we are currently doing. And we invite you all to join us in pushing the same at your country level. Yeah, that's all about MockCOP26. Back to you, Domenico.
Thank you very much, Pauline. So I always admire when I saw the presentation of MockCOP, because you did a great job to connecting people and to like have really a meaningful youth participation. And so congratulations for your work. Now I will back the floor to Paul for some questions that we are addressing to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Vito. Thank you once again for that wonderful presentation. So we have three questions for you. So the first question is, what is your opinion of what a meaningful youth engagement means? And Yeah, so the first question is, what's your opinion on meaningful youth engagement? Thank you.
So basically, meaningful youth engagement is like giving opportunity to young people to work in all stages of like decision making, be it an organization, be it a project, be it an initiative. So this opportunity enables them to participate equally as elders, not at any point, but their decision making is the same as that of the elders, and they're given the equal numbers as elders too, or alternatively, like they are allowed to work independently from elders and make decisions solemnly with the involvement of young voices. So young people are given same opportunity as elders, same decision-making platforms as the elderly, and their decisions or ideas are treated as elders or rather adults.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline. So it's a follow-up question on the question you just responded to. So how have you applied meaningful youth engagement in your current initiatives? You could use anyone and as an example.
Okay, personally at my level, have been working with the youths. Not actually all, but most of the initiatives I've been working on are by the youths. For example, I founded a foundation called the Poly Foundation. So the Poly Foundation basically is done by the youth, but we are not only serving the youth, but we are serving the community through the youth. We have professional agronomists there, professional IT experts who are youths. Our age range is, the eldest is 27. So basically that's a youth age range. And if you look at MockCOP26, the MockCOP, from the staff to the volunteers to the delegates, were all youth from 11 to 30. However, we were supported by adults. We feel like that as at certain points, we need their guidance, we need their opinions. So as much as we are doing this, we have to consult them at certain level, if at a certain stage, if we are doing the right thing, and sometimes how we will go about what we feel like we cannot handle. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline, for the response. So go over to the second question. Now, having climate action in view, what's the importance of meaningful youth engagement in climate action?
You find that youth leaders are initiating innovations, projects, initiatives, and solutions based on the community program to act on climate and nature crisis. If you go to social media, they're all over there displaying their project, displaying their innovations, displaying their solutions and ideas. At this point, on what they're doing, it's involving them is strategic, as they have the time, most importantly, energy and creativity, plus all the ideas, as well as the power to bring in their peers together for the change. So with that, it's actually very important to involve them. And secondly, you find that youth comprise like a larger proportion of today's world. The larger population is the youth. So how will you not involve them? You have to ensure that you meaningfully involve them to win, or to ensure that like in the future they do the right thing. You involve them right now so that in future they make like pragmatic steps in solving the climate crisis. Yeah, thank you. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pauline. So the third question is, so do you think international negotiation processes like like that in COP26 can improve meaningful youth engagement. So based on your experience so far, do you think these like the COP26 engagement?
Well, thank you very much for the question. I think that by unlocking financial position like finances of youth participating in decision making on the table, and finance is a very important thing. Youth often miss out due to underfunding or no funding at all. I'm sure there's so many youth that would love to be present at the COP to help in those decision making, but the funding is a problem. Even if it's not the funding, but are they given opportunity to access the budgets? We have party budgets that the government is just sitting on, but they can't provide it to the youth, even at what level. So funding and getting those budgets or access to the event is a problem. We also, through listening and seriously taking up youth stories and experiences to help contribute to the diversity and delivery in some of the climate spaces can help. Also, I feel like youth should write up and deliver recommendations and ways of working with international bodies. And on this, they should push key decision makers to listen to them and listen to them, take up what they're doing, and give them space, give the youth space to lead on certain issues. This will really make an impact. Yeah, thank you very much. And back to you.
Okay, thank you. So the last question is, we've been on the subject of meaningful youth engagement so far. So what role do you think the youth could play to improve meaningful youth engagement?
The role youth will play. Actually, I feel like youth are doing enough. They are doing enough. Why? Because just like I said previously, every day they are on the street pushing for the government to give them the spaces for them to get engaged. Is that not doing enough? Is that not giving the government or other bodies enough attention to realize that these people really need a space to engage in? I feel that's already enough. And then the projects and the initiatives they're doing, the government should just, if not handpick, just point out some of the innovative projects that youths are undertaking, then showcase them, fund the youths, resource them, allow them to go and show the world in certain events that this is what the youth from my place are doing, and give them spaces or platform to engage with others. However, lately, I feel like youth are getting that recognition. I don't know if you're also feeling the same, but lately, youth are getting that recognition. They're getting the platforms to engage in. Okay, it's not at the point we want, but at least they're getting a recognition that can provide them the room to do what they want, the room to make decisions. You find that taking example of the UN, we have bodies that have youth advisory councils. So that's a way of giving youth opportunities or meaningfully engaging the youth, because we have youth advisory bodies at different UN entities, which were not there before, but they're there right now. So that means they listened to what the youth were saying before, and they have taken it, and the youth are now engaged. We also have these organizations and embassies. I was surprised. Last week I was in Elkoi, and we had Danish embassy and the UK embassy. So they have youth advisory councils of 20 youths that just advise them on climate issues. And that's something that's just started this year. They started the same thing this year, and others are eliminating that thing. So it's actually as a platform for meaningfully engaging youth, and youth have started being meaningfully engaged. We just need more of engagements in different sectors, and we'll be good to go. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline, for your responses. This is more of this is now the time where anyone could ask. If you have a specific question for Pauline, you could put up your hands or kindly unmute, or you could put it in the chat. So from my perspective, the COP26 was an initiative or a proactive response to the postponement, right? So what it means is youths are advised to take such initiatives to closing the gap for climate justice. So how would youths get to participate in the in such initiatives like the MockCOP26, or be a part of it, just in case they're hearing of it for the first time?
Oh, that's a lovely question. We are now at phase 2, where after each country delegates made the policies. Now at the phase 2, we want them to different countries to adopt these policies. So for a country or the government or institutions to recognize that here are policies that should be adopted, they'll need people, they'll need the youth. So we are looking for volunteers, in-country volunteers. If you are, let's say, if you're from Kenya, like me, I'll just look for other Kenyan youth, and we'll just pick on our priority that, we want our government to tackle climate education. We feel like climate education is a priority right now. Which policy will we go with for the climate education? We'll pick policy 1 as youth. That's like a group of youth. We'll pick policy 1 and go with it. That one you will be engaged, not only as MockCOP, but changing the setup of your country, or changing anything. So you'll come in as a volunteer. We are doing it at volunteer basis, and you'll help in amplifying or lobbying for these policies to be picked up by the government. Yeah, I don't know if I've answered you. Is does that satisfy your question?
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, so is there lack of so for youths who want to volunteer, how would they go about it? Do they go to the website, or the application is rolled out in a particular time or something?
Let me send you the email, hello@MockCOP. So this is the email where if you want to volunteer, you send your requests and join us. Or if you forgot about this email, if you check our website, the email, there's an email there. You can also contact us through that email, and we'll just add you to country volunteer to help you in amplifying the voices. And the good thing is that we do give support to those people that are lobbying, be it in resources, be it in anything. We give support for the volunteers to help out, for the government to hear them out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline. That's all from my end. So Cisse, I don't know, your hand is up. You can unmute and talk now.
Yes, I want to say thank you, Paul, and thank you, Pauline, for this presentation. I'm grateful for the work you guys are doing. I have maybe 2 questions. Number one question is, why do you decide to get the age range from 11 to 30, considering the age limit or the youthful age limit for Africa or the global South? And then number 2 question, most of us that are part of this world, I'm calling from Sierra Leone. I'm the founder and president of the Sierra Leone School Green Club that work with schools and community. So most of us are a part of this world. For us to get those age limits that are pushing for what we are pushing, very, very difficult. Thank God for our own intervention that we are coming in to start educating the younger guys that are coming up. So how do you think these policies will be able to reflect in some of our countries? Because considering our leaders in Africa, when they see you are youth, they don't even want to see you around them. They think you are just an idler passing around. So how do you think we can work together and see if we could be able to push this work in our different countries, especially in my own country, Sierra Leone? I don't know if you have any volunteer from Sierra Leone, but I'm more than the age 30, right? But I'm still chasing to 35. So I just want to get from you on those 2 questions. Thank you.
Okay, on the age factor, age has been an issue in Africa, and we always leverage on the age factor in Africa. So we feel like as long as you are youth, at that your age, the age bracket still falls within the youth. So the age bracket that I gave the other time was for the delegates that attended MockCOP26. So for the delegates, it was between 11 to 30. But for the volunteers, as long as you are a youth, it's okay. And on issue of lobbying, we have support. So we give support at various capacities. We have support in that some people don't have that link with their government or their different government institutions or entities. So what we do is the staff looking for like contacts or linkages with other institutions in particular country, then they talk to them and send you there if you to present the policy or the treaty to the government. So that's the support they give you. They make it easier for you to like get to the government. Right now, we are also working with like organizations, in that we have organizations that work best with the government or entities that work best with the government. We partner with them. We tell them that, could you connect us with the government so that we can try pass this information to them. So us passing the information as MockCOP, it will be through the volunteers. So after the connection, we give the volunteers the information, then they go and present it to the government. So the helping is at different capacities. It just depends with which one you want or which one you really need. Does that answer you?
Yeah, thank you. I'll get in contact with you. I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Pauline. And thank you so much, Cece, for your question. All right. So I would hand it over to Vito. But I do, Pauline, on the website, the form, the feedback you get is they're no longer accepting responses. Probably it can be fixed. But meanwhile, thank you so much for your time, Pauline. I'll hand it over to Mr. Vito.
Thank you very much, Paul, and thank you to Pauline. Thank you for interaction. Maybe, I don't know if there are, maybe we can address also other questions, if there are, from the floor. If not,
I've actually sent my email on the chat, so I can give direct information afterwards if anyone needs to volunteer with MockCOP or get in contact with MockCOP staff.
Thank you very much. And now we are taking a very small break of 5 minutes, and then we return back addressing the concept of integral ecology and the concept of care. As I said, the very mission of this track today is to address the purpose and the deep meaning of engagement also in like protect the environment and also solve the climate, social, environmental, and health crisis. So I kindly invite you to put your inputs into the purpose document. You will also see them in the final closing Talanoa session. And I will also invite you to join the Discord channel in which we are engaging the discussion after the session. So you are very welcome to join there. And so yes, let's see in like 5 minutes. Now we are taking a small break, and keep connected and see you after.